Fan my brow. Holly Willoughby's made an announcement today. Hello, you wrong'un. Well, fan my brow. This is showbiz, darling. It's not reality. But Holly Willoughby's made an announcement today. Let's start with the context first. Remember a couple of days ago, Dr. Range said that Holly was in a good place. I'll give you the direct quote. Holly Willoughby will return to TV, but is still in a difficult place, from Dr. Range. She is much more of a homebody at the moment, and who knows what will change. Then we get to the 1st of December. Holly, interestingly, some years ago, was so busy that she pulled out of heading up a lifestyle brand with, remember Dragon's Den star Peter Jones? Remember that? And then she pulled out of the deal, leading a lifestyle brand to spend more time with her family. So she's got form. Not the first time. December the 1st. What would she announce on December the 1st unless she was coming back to TV? Well, the rumour is Gladiators next spring with Bradley Walsh and his son. So ITV is still in the mix. But what would have been her announcement today? I'll tell you in a moment. Firstly, that's the good bit. Dr. Range has said, oh yeah, she's coming back to telly. She's too good not to. And then straight away, a couple of days later, Lee Francis, Keith Lemon, he comes out and goes, oh, no, she's struggling. No, she's in a bad place, struggling. No, not coming back, no. Okay, we get that. And then a couple of days ago, the same story from the same source, Lee Francis, but by a different journalist is published. And it's exactly the same. Oh, she's struggling, but she's going to announce something on December the 1st. So the suggestion that she's down in the dumps appears not to be the case. So the announcement that she made on the 1st of December 2023, you can get 30% off her Wild Moon brand, obviously just in time for Christmas. Now, let me give you a bit of context and an explanation. Celebrities are celebrities for a reason. And it's a tough place, showbiz. They don't muck about. So celebrities like to have profile. That is, they're in the newspapers, they're in the magazines, they have profile. You see them, hear them, are aware of them. That awareness and profile makes them money. Sorry, I'm pointing. Makes them money. So a couple of days ago, Lee Francis came out and said again, oh no, she's struggling. No, she's struggling. She's in a tough place, but she's going to make an announcement. The announcement was 30% off at Wild Moon. So you see, those little tidbits that were in quite a few of the newspapers, that Holly's doing some odd stuff around gardening. I think they were calling it lunar gardening. Kit off under the moonlight. Never heard of it before in my life. But it's something that, that lifestyle brand might have promulgated. So today, it wasn't that Holly was coming back to telly. It was 30% off leading up to Christmas. But let's talk about Holly coming back to the telly and doing telly. Because it is showbiz, darling, and showbiz isn't reality. 7. Now, you and I know double acts split up all the time. There's been some big double acts that kind of went their separate ways and didn't really work. There's Laurel and Hardy. What do you mean, who else? Morecambe and Wise. That didn't work, did it? Can you remember Dustin G and Les Dennis? Les, national treasure now. But it never worked when they split up. The double act always worked together. So, Holly, is she going to do Dancing on Ice in January? No, ITV appear to like double acts. And Scove and Willoughby are not a double act at the moment. So who'll do it? Will Dancing on Ice be presented by Rochelle and Marvin Hume? Well, he's just been in the jungle, hasn't he? So he's got a bit of profile. Rochelle's doing This Morning. So they're both ITV wokerists, if there's such a word. No, there's not. I've just made it up. One off the cuff, so to speak. And then you've got the new darlings of ITV, Cat Deely and hubby Patrick Keelty. Will they do Dancing on Ice? Well, he's a comedian, really. So anything he does is going to be funny. So Holly and Scove haven't got Dancing on Ice. Holly probably won't do Dancing on Ice. I mean, she's done it for years and years and years, well over a decade. Is she going to come back and do Dancing on Ice? No, I don't see that. ITV are a place that like to have double acts. Now, Holly and Scove need a vehicle. That's kind of parlance, showbiz parlance, for we need to find them something to get them back on the telly. So is ITV going to come up with a vehicle? Well, the BBC look more like a natural home for Scove and Willoughby. The BBC have said, I'll paraphrase because I'm not going to give a direct quote, that they'll look again at Holly after the KC's inquiry is finished. And if nothing else comes out, well, let's face it, the inquiry's not going to be made public, is it? Unless somebody leaks it. Oh, it's showbiz, darling. It's not reality. So is somebody going to make that public? Is somebody going to, say, oh, this has happened and that's happened and this has come out? I mean, it happens all the time in politics, but telly? So, if nothing comes out from the KC's inquiry into what happened at This Morning, toxic. It could be Scove and Willoughby are the Caped Crusaders. They're coming in are the saviours of mid-mornings on the BBC. Because they're not going to come back to ITV. ITV have now got other people and other double acts. And, I mean, blimey, they've got a cast of millions on This Morning at the moment. So the external ITV inquiry results unlikely to be published this year. That's 2023 before you ask. Scove's been in contact with the barrister leading the inquiry. Well, it was unwise, but not illegal, Your Honour. So the outcomes are not going to be known for several months. But look at, and I keep saying this, showbiz needs to be looked at retrospectively. It needs to be looked at after the fact. I mean, you don't want to look at the papers today because you're going to look at them tomorrow and go, did they really say that? Did Matt Hancock really say that? But you only look at it retrospectively for accuracy, of course, because everything you look at the newspapers and in the news, 24-hour news cycle, because that's all it is at the moment, you can't believe everything that you hear and see, even with your own papers. I mean, look at the newspapers. The only thing they never get wrong is the price on the front. So the outcomes from this inquiry are not going to be known for several months. So would that be convenient? I'm asking you a question now, and you can pass comment in the comment section below. Thank you. Would it not be convenient that something was published around the summer holidays next year, just as the kids are finishing school? You know, in June, round about June, that would be about 7 months away. My maths are not that great, but June or July would be about right. So if the kids go away on holiday and all the parents go away and people that are watching mid-morning TV, school holidays. And that's why Scove and Willoughby normally took that time off to naff off to their pied-à-terres, plural, in Portugal. So they wouldn't come back until September. So if it's announced in sort of June or July next year, then everybody's forgotten about it by September. How convenient would that be? It would be very convenient, Adrian. The KC Jane Mackay looking into the unwise but not illegal affair, that's Scove's affair, with This Morning's runner. So by the time we get to the announcement, everybody will be up in arms, that faux indignation. Everybody's forgotten by September. And according to sources, Philip Schofield has fully cooperated with the investigations and communicated with the barrister. However, if Jane, that's the KC's first name, Jane Mulcahy, If she finishes her review this side of Christmas, it would be very quick. So it's not going to happen, is it? No. Let's just keep that profile going. Let's just keep everybody's name in the press. ITV has said that Ms. Mulcahy has said she expects to be finished later this year. So it's not going to be published until next year. So they'll, as a little Christmas gift, the ITV and the high Hegians within that organisation are going to see what's going to be published. But they're going to leave it 6 months before they publish it. So it dies down. Now let's look at more context, because this is important context as to whether Scove and Willoughby are returning as a team, whether Scove and Willoughby will be on the telly together again. So another little bit of reportage came out recently as to why Scove's wife, Steph, won't divorce him. Now, you and I have been party to the news agenda and the news reportage and being told the drama of Scove deciding that his predilection was one way when everybody thought it was the other way. So according to the source, Steph is and always will be Philip's support system. She hasn't divorced him because she doesn't want to see him fall any further. Lovely. And yet, when he came out and all the Brown stuff hit the fan, he was thanking his 2 daughters, not the missus. But can you see how gently he's returning to telly? Even if the love they shared in the beginning of their marriage, and I'm quoting, is different to what it is now, the love is still very much there. Is this because they've got a multi-million-pound business going together? He still wears his wedding ring. How does that work? So you've gone off to dance with others, and the wife's still the wife, and they're not divorcing. Forgive me, I'm not the brightest. But Scove separated from his missus, Steph, in 2020 when he first, announced to the world that he was a bit of a surprise. But he continued to wear his wedding ring. But what out of all of this is the one thing that everybody remembers? And this is important, because by the time we get to next June or July, and it's not going to be announced, it's not going to be published, the one thing that everybody will remember is not what's gone on with the runner, but the phrase, unwise but not illegal. I mean, Andy Coulson would be very proud. It's very clever, very proud. Unwise but not illegal. So I'll ask you a question. Have you noticed how these things are being drip-fed to the mainstream media? Today's announcement, 30% off at Wild Moon. She's still got the profile to be able to make it in the mainstream media. So, where is this little runner that ITV hired and then moved when it was all becoming a bit too dramatic? And who's paying his legal bills? Oh, you forgot to ask that? Has his legal bills been paid for by Scove or being paid for by someone else on behalf of Scove? Now, look, Philip's been exonerated. He's not done anything illegal. Unwise, obviously, out of his own mouth. Unwise, but not illegal. So, if things are leaked, and it's who benefits from the leak that you need to look at. Who benefits from any leak that comes out and exonerates either Holly or Phil, and or both? Roughly about 18 months after all this stuff blew up. Now, have they both blotted their copybook? Will the BBC and ITV be doing various bits and pieces behind the scenes? And the wife's not divorcing him? Still loves him, according to the newspapers, according to the source. And yet, when it all came out, the word on the street was she was apoplectic with rage. But unknown whether it was because he got found out or whether She didn't know. So with all of this, there's two things. One, always look at this with hindsight. Always look after the effect backwards, because in the moment, it's all managed, all of it. And then who's going to be the beneficiaries when that Casey's inquiry not comes out, but is leaked? Because I'll guarantee you it will be. And what will they be trying to do? It's showbiz, darling. That's how it operates. That's how it works. It's never straight. They'll be doing risk assessments. They will be doing focus groups, because they do those focus groups in the background. We do it in radio. They do it in telly. They do it everywhere. So they'll be doing focus groups on whether their relationship is toxic and the viewer doesn't want them anymore. They will be doing focus groups around the individuals of Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby, and whether they can step into and be rewarded for doing telly. But telly is an odd place. It's showbiz, not reality. So I fully expected the announcement today to have been something earth-shattering. And it wasn't. It was 30% off at Wild Moon. How very unshowbiz, darling.